Hi, welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast. You will watch us drinking 1 liters of beer whilst talking about shies. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the 1 Liter.
Prost!
Prost.
Everyone, we're joined with Philip's dear friend Andrew. Dear friend, I don't know why I had a deer on top of it.
Yeah,
But
my dearest friend Andrew. We used to work together.
we'll just jump in real quick. So Andrew has done some extra work on Aquaman. If you watch the first Aquaman in the scene where Jason Momoa's character, Aquaman, I guess, is beating. So you played one of the sailor crew
Played, yeah.
So-
played.
yeah. Were you one of the
Like a
bad guys?
dog plays dead.
So you weren't one of the bad guys. You were one of the mariners who got taken out by the special forces team.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
come in,
okay.
the pirates as they were.
Yeah.
Which is Yahya, what's his name? Yahya Al something, the bad guy in it.
Yeah.
I talked to him a little bit. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
Because I was just like, if you're in the scene, there's like a table, like the map table.
Closer to the mic, my man.
There's a map table.
Yep.
And I'm dead down on the floor. And I mean, I love the whole process of it, of course, being on a movie. And so anyway, he was there and he's like coming in. They're like, okay, you want to come in this way? And I'm just sitting there. They're talking to him.
You're the
anyway,
only body in the room?
there's people around like the sides, but I'm like, I'm here and he's right there. Anyway, and then I'm just sitting and then we're in between. They're doing makeup and stuff while we're waiting for shots or whatever. And then I'm just like sitting there smiling because I'm just like happy as to be on set, And he's like, man, you look pretty happy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just happy to be here. He's like, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, so, and we just had a little bit of chat.
Nice.
But that was pretty cool because it was like his first big thing as well. So I think he was also a little bit like, I could tell like he was a bit like, oh, I mean, Aquaman,
blockbuster film.
Yeah, because I don't know what else he's done, little smaller stuff. I think he was in
Candyman. And...
I think he was, yeah. Well, that's after, but
true.
I think he was in Baywatch, maybe. The movie that came,
True,
the
yeah.
Rock
one
and
with the
stuff.
rock, yeah. Okay.
But
Can I
yeah, that was cool.
can I ask though, because it's funny, and we'll get to, because you were mentioning as well about your experience with Jason Momoa, the brief encounters you had, but I also wanted to mention that gentleman, I can't remember his name, Yahya, whatever his name is, and Jason Momoa, both extremely tall people.
Yeah, big dudes. Yeah.
So did you ever, when you were there smiling, at some point did they call cut? Did you stand up and were you kind of like,
well, one time was with Jason Momoa was because like in the hangar where they were doing the filming, there's like one door in and out basically. So you go
I
through
used to
this
work there, bro.
little door, and then there's like the toilet area, and then another door out, so it's extra soundproofed. Anyway, so I'm going to the main door, and I'm just like, I think I was going outside just because we were finished, and so I opened the door, and then I was like. And it was like Jason Momoa was like at the door because he was coming the other way. And I was like...
Staring at his pubes.
Yeah, I was like
my
at
God.
his...
Yeah.
I don't know, like here, probably?
Yeah, up to his
You were
chest.
Just-
joking.
his
So he's
chest.
like, what, 6'7" or something fucked
yeah, I
up
don't
like
know what
that.
he actually is, but I was like, oh yeah, cool, no, you go. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to like...
Was he like...
Get out of the way. No,
You
Go,
go,
sir.
Yeah.
Did he give you like a thanks, man, or he just walked
Just
straight through?
walk through, I mean, again, he's
Man.
working, I suppose. I get it. But I mean, I've heard stories of people who are, dicks, obviously.
Yeah.
Here's my thing, right?
But it was awesome.
My thing is this, like, as an actor, people are pretty good. Like, I've never been on a big blockbuster set, but if I've done like a short or a student film or something, and I know it's going to be an emotional scene, it's like, hey man, do you guys have like because if you're like, you're always at someone's house or something, like, whose house
When
is
it's-
this?
Yeah.
I got to thank them for letting us use the house.
Yeah,
like, it's always like, is there a room I can go to and just prep for lines? Like, oh yeah, we're shooting in 15, go for it. Here's a cupboard or a bathroom or something random. So I get if Jason Momoa, he's like, all right, this is my first big thing, my individual thing. I need time alone. I need to be in my own headspace.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's one thing, if that's his method. But in the scene, all he's doing is whooping ass.
Yeah.
It's not like he's saying anything intricate or like
No, he's
profound.
just-
So no need to be a dick, bro.
Yeah. I think his biggest thing is because he had his trainer and stuff on and he's just as big. I don't know what his name was, but he was a massive unit as well. Like in between scenes, he just got the like the elastic friggin'
Oh, really?
thing,
Just to
doing
keep his
this.
muscles
Keep
flat.
Yeah, to
pumped.
keep him pumped, and then he'd like be like, and he's doing something and cut, and then he'd just be like,
Well, you know what he was doing in the bathroom, so he's just
Yeah.
flicking his hair going, permission to come aboard.
Yeah.
As he was
Yeah,
practicing
exactly.
that one.
But
That's the one line.
He's like bored. Fuck shit.
Yeah.
That's a hole in the wall.
Boarding permission. Damn it! That was the airport.
But even in that scene, a lot of shooting,
Mm.
and I didn't realize something I learned from that is how many times they shooting. So like they're like 3 different kinds of rounds. So like one makes a big flash, so they do that, but it's not real loud. Then they do one that's really loud because it gives off like a muzzle, basically. So and then they overlay it all.
Oh.
But they give us all earplugs for the loud one because I'm trying to be dead. I'm just like this, and I'm like,
Mm. So you're still flinching.
trying
as well?
not to, but because it was
Actually, when
Yeah,
I
it was
watched
cool.
the movie, I saw you flinch
Oh,
in the
yeah.
background. Yeah.
But
But
cool.
it's cool because the camera literally pans right past him.
Yeah.
Like he's dead.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm
But
dead.
it's like the side
it's
of
not,
his head like this.
Yeah.
It
And
was
just
just cool to be
pans.
on. It was my first big one, and
Congrats,
it was
man.
cool to be on set. But like, I mean, it didn't do anything, but it was
Mm.
kind of cool.
Didn't they cut your hair too, right?
Yeah,
For that.
it's crazy.
Right then
The
and there.
production is like
Right then
mental.
and there.
Like,
And-
can I get a fade?
Yeah.
Well, it was like a pretend fade, and it was pretty bad. Like he
Yeah.
came to work the next day, and we're like,
What
"What
are
have
you
they done to
doing?
your
Yeah.
hair? Like they just tacked
crazy,
at it."
like,
because they're
it's
only seeing
just-
one side of your
Yeah.
face. You still
Yeah. Yeah,
they,
like,
they didn't
we're
give a
gonna do
shit.
half.
yeah. Fuck you, kid.
No,
They
they,
just hacked it.
It's pretty cool. Like this, you go there at bloody 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever, 4:30, and it's like we're not, they don't start until like
11.
Jason and stuff. The director, he doesn't get there till like 9, 10, or like
bullshit,
11 or
eh?
whatever. But we're there at 5, and the haircut people, and they check you every morning because we'll make sure you're the same or whatever.
Also, how long was it? How long was the
know?
shoot for? Like 3 or 4 days for you?
No, my bit, and this is the biggest thing you take from it. So that scene goes for like, by the time he drops out and you see me down the hallway, and he's fighting. That's probably like 2 minutes, maybe. Of
2
that
minute
part.
sequence,
Like if
yeah.
you take out where it cuts away to the pirates and comes back, it's like 2 minutes. I was there for like 2.5 weeks.
Fuck
So,
me.
on and off for most of the days. 13, 14 hours sitting there. Sometimes didn't go there, get all dressed up or whatever, and then just sit in the waiting area. Didn't use me. Okay, undress. Okay, off you go.
Damn.
Didn't
And
they
that's where
use
the
you for one more?
funds I get,
Didn't they use you for one more shot, or was
There
that
was
a
another
different
shot.
thing?
Yeah, I don't think you can see me, and there was just like an area of like lots of sailors in the area and climbing out of the submarine.
Mm.
So technically, I'm dead, but
So it's similar to
Yeah,
your
same.
one where you were doing some with military.
Vietnam one,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Vietnam
Danger
one.
Close.
And then
Oh,
oh,
that one?
yeah,
Yeah, Narang, yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did so because I've done extras work way back in my early on in my career, and you do 1 day or 2 days worth of, but you get about $200 or $300. So
Mm.
2 weeks, what would you get?
Yeah,
About
it was-
$1,500? Or
Yeah, it
something?
was I reckon it was, I don't remember, about $2,000, yeah, something like that.
Fuck yeah, awesome.
Which again, it was like, man, you see the budget, like. You know what I mean? Like you think, oh, why did this movie cost billions of dollars? $1 billion movie or $100 million movie? It's like, well, because they're just wasting money. It feels like,
Exactly.
But better to
exactly.
have you there than not have you there. 'Cause
Exactly.
If they need to do a shot again,
But I'm
Exactly.
thinking, what bothers me is like if it was because like again, like I did that Vietnam one. I've done other ones, but I did the Vietnam one, and that was at least like 80 dudes, like 80 young Aussie dudes, all uniforms, all makeup. We all got the bells and whistles, and they took care of us because obviously we were in a lot of shots. We weren't just like the background, you know.
yeah.
But you guys, for such a large budget, they should hire. They shouldn't just get the assistant director or like the DOP's assistant or something to delegate what the extras do. They should actually create a new position within film where someone takes care of the extras,
Yeah,
like a drill sergeant, right?
Yeah.
Because we get treated like absolute
yeah,
dog shit,
yeah.
and it's like your budget. Like Jason Momoa is getting paid what? 12 million for
or
this
whatever.
movie,
Yeah,
and he doesn't even have the or you guys don't have the decency to fucking know our names. Like what? There's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
7 or
Yeah.
8 of you.
Yeah,
Like, give me
yeah.
a fucking break.
Yeah, I know. It's
You
like,
know
let's
what
have
the
someone
issue
look
is?
after. Yeah,
They can. It's because they can.
They can,
Because
'cause
you're going to do
if
it
I don't
just
like
for the
it,
experience.
someone else will
You
just
want to
do
be
it.
on that movie
Exactly.
set, and so do
Yeah.
100 other dudes for
Yeah.
that same position.
It's true, but like,
It's the same as like the
just
music
come-
world, right?
yeah.
It's the same as when I was doing DJing. You're like, oh, I get to play in this club. They pay you fuck all, but you're just like, but I love it because I
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
play in this club.
yeah, yeah. Like the in the city.
Can I just say on a side note, I love having a view
Oh, it's so good.
because
But-
most of the time it's just like
Yeah.
a neon version of Philip's
Yeah,
face
yeah,
in
yeah.
front of me, like blue. I'm like, yes, purple face.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're being hosted in Queensland at my sister's place, so we've got a nice view out into the garden
Natural
rather than
lighting's pretty good.
rather than
Which-
my
It's kind of hot.
apartment. It's very
Oh,
Do you
it's
know
hot.
what?
yeah.
It's something I remember. I realized that I do a lot during summer.
Sweat.
Is sweat. Yeah, that is svetsy. Is use the line. It's kind of hot in these rhinos.
Oh, dude.
Like almost every day. If someone's like, "Yeah, it's kind of hot in here," I'm like, "It's kind of hot in these rhinos."
Bro, you're preaching that. I must have said that at least like 6 times in the last 3 days.
Like I'll just wake up in the morning, it's real hot, and like Queensland, he's like, "Man, it's kind of hot."
Yeah,
in these
kind of hot
rhinos."
in these rhinos.
My wife knows. She does. Oh, yeah.
So the one I use, exact same scene,
Yeah.
is warm.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And then
That
you
too.
wipe your face.
Warm.
Yeah.
Or need air.
Yeah.
Air.
Do you know what I always do? Like, if I'm in an uncomfortable situation, or like, for instance, if someone said, "Oh, we'll be doing this," and then it takes, like, for instance, like you guys, right? You guys are waiting for me.
Mhm.
I said I was going to be at 2, but I got a bit late. If I was in your position, I would have been like, guns digging into my hip. Gun. Or if I'm like chewing gum, I'll be like putting gum in my mouth, like a gun digging in my hip, you know, like, thanks, Squatter. Yeah.
I literally just watched that first one again, like probably 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So good.
Well,
Fuck
just
yeah.
before I was looking at this board and I was like, "What's going on over here?"
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like-
What's going on over here? Dude, yes, Andrew, yes.
it's just like, what?
So I got a fun story. So I must have done, in my entire time, I must have done about 2 or 3 extras roles. I did like a Ned Sport betting one.
Hmm.
I did like a SUV one. And it was like, you know, typical, you get there 7 hours before you need to shoot, and you shoot for fucking 25 minutes and you go home.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or
Yeah.
whatever. But just before I left Queensland, maybe about a year before I left Queensland, my agent was like, "Yo, Joel, they're filming a lot of stuff at the Gold Coast now. Blah, 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 blah. Get excited for that." And I had said to her at this point in time, I'm kind of weaning off extras work because I'm doing a lot more student and short
Yeah,
films.
yeah.
Like, and then I got the call saying they're doing Dora the Explorer
Yeah.
at Movie World. Do you want to head down and audition for a role? And I was like, "Is it a speaking role?" She's like, "Fuck yeah, it is."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right." I went down there and there was like me and like maybe like 12 guys and then 12 gals. And one of the guys was actually one of my acting
Oh,
classmates.
no way.
Yeah.
So we were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, dude." You know, I think
Yeah.
we might even carpool down.
Yeah.
And we went in there and it was like a big deal. You know, we got our headshots and we stood there and they asked us about our thing and we did like a bit of like a monologue from this piece of paper. And then the guy walks out and he's like, "All right, you guys were good. Unfortunately, this is only for stand-in roles." So my agent was a fucking piece of shit and lied to me.
Mm.
And so I wasn't like "What are you giving me, Sally?" kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even remember my agent's name. It wasn't Sally.
Yeah.
But for the purpose of the exercise, let's call her Sally. And she was like, "I think this would be a great opportunity for you to get like look at what a big set and all this stuff's like." And I'm like, "You're fucking full of shit. Fuck
Yeah.
you." And so I looked into stand-in work, and I would have been one of the main characters stand-ins on
yeah.
Dora the Explorer. I would have been there for about 3 months.
Yeah.
I would have got paid well. I would have got to rub shoulders with the
But
Hollywood
you're never on
actors.
screen.
Never on screen.
Unless it's like the back, maybe, if
Yeah.
they have to use a
The
shot.
back of your head.
And
or
I'm not
something.
Just-
learning, I'm
yeah.
not memorizing lines.
No.
Like I'm not saying anything.
No.
I could maybe. I know there's stories. So they offered me the part, and I said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
In kind of words,
Yeah.
I said, "No, I'm not doing it." My mate got it instead.
Yeah.
And I asked for updates every day. I was like, "Do yourself a favor, stand out, be good, be really good with catering and stuff. If you stand out and you become like a good asset to them, they might say, 'Hey, stand in
Yeah.
and say this line.' Like get your face in the actual
Yeah,
movie."
yeah.
And he did all that stuff. He kissed so much ass.
And
He got nothing. But
Nothing but that's what because Elvis filmed most recently.
Mhm.
Well, not most recently, but a while back now.
Yeah, I auditioned for that.
And
I
so
auditioned for a role in that.
They rang me to be the stand-in.
Who were you in? What
for-
agency?
I was with well, I'm changed now, but reckon what are they called? Helen's Vale.
Oh, sure.
Can't remember the name. But he sort of shut down. He's gone more solo now.
Mhm.
But they rang me for the stand-in for Elvis. But when they rang me, I was like, "Oh, and they're like, "Oh, have you done any on stand-in work?" And I was like, "No, And then my agent's like, "You should have you're not American enough. Americans is like, yeah, I'm the best. Yeah, I've done all this other stuff. You got to like sell
Hate that.
yourself. And that's what they look for when they ask you, "Yeah, have you done this?" Like, "Oh, yeah, I've done these things and this thing, this thing."
Would you have done it if they
I
gave
was
you the
more
part?
like real, just,
Mm.
"Oh, and I've done this, I've done this a little bit, done a few workshops and
Yeah, I
this and
really
that," and
don't
they're
like.
but the Americans want you to like just
Be a hot shot.
Be
yeah,
extra.
be
Be
extra,
extra.
and,
Dude.
that's why we don't.
Yeah.
Australians inherently don't.
They
I'm like that.
They can't fault like the way our crews work and the way our actors work, we're far superior to Americans. Like they have the infrastructure and the money and stuff, but obviously everyone says, oh, they come to Australia to film because we're cheaper. It's cheaper to film here, but our crews
tax write-offs and stuff.
but our crews are unbeatable. We don't complain. We're there when we need to be. We don't fuck around. We don't piss everyone off. So I think there's a huge...
We don't bullshit as much.
Yeah,
we don't
bullshit
fucking
as
lie
much,
about the experience that we have and then turn up and we're shit. Because they're like, oh, he's done this before. Nope.
Yeah, true.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And this is the thing, you don't want to be saying, yeah, I've done that before. Like, you know, my agency, Vox was the agency. And he would always be like, you know, if you can't, like, to be like, what languages can you speak? Don't say you can speak a language if you can't, because they're going to get you on set. Be like, cool, can you say this in fluent German? Be like,
yeah. I know a little
and then
Cambodian.
you'll never work again, basically. You know, so it's like you got to kind of, you know, fine line. If you can't swim, don't say you can swim because they're going to put you in a pool.
You're going to drown.
You know, like,
yeah.
Do you know
like
what's
that.
kind of weird? Side topic. And no offense to those people who can't, but I feel like anyone above the age of 10 who doesn't know how to swim is strange.
Strange or has never had access.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big Australian
fine.
thing, yeah.
It is because we're surrounded by the ocean, but was it us or someone with the other day saying Canadians?
A lot of Canadians that can't swim.
A lot of Canadians
I'm pretty
can't
sure.
swim. It's like, bro, like we're landlocked, right?
Yeah.
Where we are, we're inland. I mean, sure, we got like 30 minutes of the Gold Coast. You want to travel out to like any kind of swimming hole, but
we're
like,
a hot country, so heat
People
means
have
getting into
pools
the
and
pools,
stuff,
being by the water. Whereas Canada, you're either you can't swim because it's frozen,
but
it's
they have
ice.
some of the most beautiful lakes in the world.
It's true, but they're probably freaking cold. As.
Yeah, dude.
Actually, you jumped into one.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude,
what's
I get to Whistler in Canada, and there was like a jetty jumping into the water, and there was all these people sunbaking on the side. There was no one there. It was like July, so all the snow, it was like tiny bit of snow-capped mountains.
Yeah,
and we got over there, and this like Aussie chick we met in Vancouver the night before, she was like, she brought us down there, and she was like, oh, I probably wouldn't jump in if I was here. It's going to be cold. And we're like, well, obviously it's going to be cold. We're in Canada. We jumped in and it was like, oh.
yeah, like that. Stinging.
Yeah. And we got out and like, it was just like, oh, that was cold. And then she was like, yo, like you would have, that was like below mine or something.
You're glad you didn't stay in much longer.
Yeah.
Well, what's in like Germany? Like, I mean, obviously, you
lakes.
Left early.
They love lakes.
But like in swimming, like, you know, in school, you know, they like,
like
go to classes and stuff. I mean, here it's like, oh, what, your kid's not going to swimming school?
No,
you know, like,
I went to swimming classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I feel like Germans are far too proficient and efficient of
we
a
cannot
human.
lose anybody to the water.
Yeah.
We must teach them to swim.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're like,
it's far too risky if we will lose our children.
Yeah, we need them for the future. Yeah. No, that's it. Oh, okay. But yeah, Americans, something I don't get is like, you know, we're talking about like pools here, is like you watch stuff on TV of like, you know, in like house hunters and shit, people looking at houses, and there's like no fences in like the backyard.
Oh, like for pools?
Well,
you
just
mean?
in general, it looks like, you know, people are like, oh yeah, here's my, you
They
know,
walk
this
around
got
the
this
side of their
backyard,
house
and
and
it's
it's
like,
there.
and there's this, you know, trees and stuff, and then it just goes to the neighbor's house. And it's like you don't have fences. There's no fences in your pools.
Yeah.
It just seems
Do they not
weird
have
to me. Like, I don't know if they. I don't think they even have. I mean, maybe it's changed now, but
Well, I
you
remember
barely
watching
see pool fences.
I remember watching movies when I was younger, and obviously they're set in America, and people just like, oh, and get into a car, like someone else's car, and I'm like, why is that car not locked? And my mum was like, they don't lock their cars over there. And I was like, what?
The seatbelts too. They still don't put seatbelts on.
Yeah, because you can't make me, bro.
That's the
fuck,
attitude.
dude?
It's my own risk.
Yeah. You don't have children, do you?
Not yet.
He's got one
very
on the way,
shortly.
literally about to
Oh,
pop.
congratulations,
Yeah.
man. Do you know the sex?
Boy.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or are you going to let it decide later?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're
fuck.
gonna let it decide.
Let's not go there. Cancelled.
I hate
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
But do you have a pool at home?
No.
Because
Soon, hopefully, work on that.
Yeah, right. Okay. Not only did my parents have to go through it because we've always had we had above ground and then low, and then we got a new low ground throughout my childhood. And when they put out the law where you have to have a fence, it was like crazy. It was like if there was like a tiny bit of hill there, like a tiny bit of extra bit of dirt mound, they're like measuring the grass. They're like, no, the kid could crawl under that much. Like it's a stupid fucking rules.
The gap's like got to be smaller than 100 mil.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it's like who's fitting like, You know, I mean, my
Yeah.
mate's attitude, he's just like, if the kids are in my backyard, they should deserve to go. I'm like, calm down, okay?
Yeah.
But like, that's what the rules are about. It's not really about your kids, because I mean, you should be watching your kids.
It's about the
if someone
burglars.
comes into there and then their kid drowns, it's like,
Yeah.
well, maybe don't be in my backyard. But they're good. I mean, hopefully,
It's about when the
has
burglars
saved
drown.
lives. Yeah, that's
Do you
it. I
guys-
know. How bad is that
Then
rule?
you
Like,
then you can sue the owner of the house.
so
Do you know
annoying.
what? Do you know what story always stuck with me? And obviously, it's fictitious, but so not fictitious, fictional. But I mean, I'm sure it happens in real life, especially in America. Do you remember on Liar Liar when his secretary's like,
Yeah.
"I'm leaving," and then he's
Yeah.
like, "Wait, don't go." And he's
Yeah,
making all the
yeah,
noises.
yeah,
then
yeah.
she's like, "My friend, a burglar fell through her roof and then landed on a
Cut his
knife."
leg.
And she got sued. And I thought about it. I was like, I'm not sure if our judicial system's that fucked, but America
I
is
mean,
fucked.
yeah,
It's
I mean,
fucked.
that's the sort of shit.
$5,000 she had to pay him.
I would have got him 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
I'd have got him 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of thing. Like, if if you break someone's arm because they're in your house or whatever, like burglar, and it's like, well, they can like sue
They
you
can sue you.
for going over the top. It's like, they're in my house.
I just watched the latest Ricky Gervais, and he's talking about you can't call a homosexual a queer or something. They could sue you for calling them a queer. But and then he's like, it's a homophobic rule because you can't sue the other way around.
Yeah.
You can't, if you're a queer, you can't, like if you're homosexual, you can't sue someone for calling you not homosexual.
yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's only
The
backwards
door's got to
rules.
swing both ways.
Yeah.
Big time.
100%.
We're the minority. Boo boo.
Yeah, I know.
So, I obviously it's the same thing with Adam Sandler films, right? So Adam Sandler, everyone's favorite two Adam Sandler films are Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, right? Arguably, like no one can argue with that.
Yeah.
Hang on, we'll get to that. But when I see things like Waterboy and all these ones, it's just like fuck, it's hard. But my favorite Adam Sandler or Big Daddy, my favorite Adam Sandler film of all time is Little Nicky.
Yeah,
that's
a quality one.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are like, that's on the low end list.
That's your big
Haven't seen
thing.
all-
You turn the cola into Pepsi or whatever.
Yeah,
Coke
yeah.
into Pepsi.
Turn the cola
This
into
Coke tastes like Pepsi.
Yeah. You're damn right I did. I mean, really? Yeah. But obviously when it comes to Jim Carrey, it's probably just the two Ace Ventura films, really. But and then people might say Liar Liar or these other ones, but for me, I absolutely love Cable Guy. It's so underrated, dude.
Cable Guy. Yeah,
It's so
I know.
It's
And
creepy,
it's
isn't it?
creepy.
It's creepy,
yeah.
but it's
Creepy.
amazing. Like
You
it's
know.
That was his first massive money role.
Steven
I think he got like 25 mil for that.
for Cable Guy.
Yeah.
There's a
So that
lot
was
to,
because it was after the Dumb and Dumber
and they wanted him
and
to do it.
Ace
yeah.
Ventura, and they were like, this guy needs to be.
Yeah, and
That was
there's
his-
there's so much to like unpack in that movie from like the creepiness side of it,
Yeah.
the sort of he's got a mental condition side of it,
loneliness,
and the loneliness,
Yeah, lack of
and,
parenting and stuff.
Yeah,
I
Come
watched
there,
it.
Kubla.
yeah. One of my favorite bits in that is when they go to the
Medieval
the
times.
medieval time. Hello there, wench.
yeah.
There were no cola at medieval times. There,
Yeah. That's what he's like. Can I get a straw? She's like,
good
no
mead
straw.
for me and me mate.
Yeah. What does it say? He's
Frosty brew.
Frosty
the
brew.
king's
That's all I
thirst.
might have for us. That's right. Yeah.
Have a king's thirst for the frosty brew.
Yeah. Get on the horse, buddy. I don't think this guy's screwing around.
Yeah.
I
That's
got to watch that again.
My favorite bits in that is when they're down. He's like the yoga ladder.
yeah.
If we don't fight to the death, they will kill us both. Say that like all the time.
Bro.
That's
A
quality.
big
knows.
thing for me is like, when I have kids, I have like they can do what they want, as in watch whatever they want. Obviously, it's going to be shit when they're playing Disney movies 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate Disney.
Yeah.
But some rules for me is like my kids are watching every Jim Carrey film.
Yeah.
Every Adam Sandler film from the 90s.
Mhm.
They're watching every season of The Simpsons till about season 13.
Yeah, I know. That's the hard. You got to the new stuff. Yeah, you
It's
gotta
dog shit.
just watch the old
Yeah, yeah.
ones.
Captain Planet.
But then do you become that person of it was better in my day? Like people are like, I want to watch the new
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking the same thing. Obviously, coming up, I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. Like
What else
well,
have you
Disney
got?
movies. I don't want to be watching the new
what are they?
Disney.
Pepper
I'm
fucking
watching
Pig?
the old Disney
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What else have you got planned, Andrew? Like what else is on the must-do list for child? What do they
Yeah.
have to learn when
Well, if I want to live vicariously through them, then they will be learning go-karting, car racing.
Yeah.
That sort of
Will you
stuff.
try to
But
get
no.
them if they have an affinity for being a bit entertaining?
And-
Would you
yeah,
try to
yeah.
get them into like
I'd
drama
try to,
classes
yeah.
and stuff?
I mean, because
do it,
I
dude. Do it.
partially regret not, like from school and high school, and then you just sort of like, high school, doing drama, and you're doing, school plays, and then it all just, it doesn't continue on.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of regret not doing that. So hopefully, but it's hard. You got to, like you said, I'm going to show them Adam Sandler movies, and then, I fucking hate Adam Sandler. I've watched all the movies too many times. It's like,
And then
so you can't win.
Yeah, then you're going to have a falling out with your child.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, we can't be friends.
Why
Damn
don't you
it.
like Jim Carrey?
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you like him? Yeah, I know. So
I don't like Adam Sandler much.
not much.
I know,
Oh,
I know you're a big fan, but
No, his new stuff is shit. And then I didn't like Adam Sandler for like maybe 9 years.
although I can't say that about him as a person. Apparently, he's like the nicest, most caring dude. But I just don't.
he's
I
wonderful,
just don't
yeah.
like his acting. Really, I'm not a
Yeah,
big fan.
Yeah,
Did you like because I haven't even seen those 3 movies. Like the only ones I've seen are like The Wedding Singer and like Click and all that kind of shit.
Click sort of is when it started.
yeah. That was the
Going
downfall.
downhill.
The downfall
Yeah.
of Sandler.
I mean, you got little
Wedding
bits
Singer,
Still got me in the feels at the end. Like I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
this is a weird movie, and I was like, oh my god.
Because
Wedding
Christopher
Singer
Walken,
was
though, right?
fucking- Yeah.
Because that's the best part
don't
of that
press
film.
the button.
Yeah.
No, Wedding Singer was like, that's good.
That's good.
I-
Okay, yeah.
When he did like, I didn't like 50 First Dates, surprisingly.
No,
I thought it was okay.
I didn't like.
I like Drew Barrymore's part in that more, probably,
Yeah.
but I don't
It was
know.
compelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
The all of the Jack and Jill one, and the step
Oh,
parents, or what are they called? Grown ups and all that
Grown-ups,
stuff.
yeah, 1 and 2.
Couldn't watch more than 5 minutes before hyperventilating. But when he did Uncut Gems, that was my
yeah,
I was like, oh, hello,
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah.
Adam's back. Here we
Adam's
go.
back, yeah.
Like, yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like they don't want to stick to their, this is what I am. I just want to branch out a little bit. But also, if you're good at what you're doing, then just stick with that.
Are you the guy who commented on Phil's thing ages ago and said Will Ferrell's the man? Who was that?
Oh, who said
Maybe.
Will
I mean,
Ferrell?
I do like Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
but-
Will Ferrell's great. I think Adam made a comment. Adam that we've had on, he made a comment about Will Ferrell and how we were saying it wrong.
Oh, that's right. It was
Yeah.
Adam. Yeah. So I said like I loved Will Ferrell in SNL. I loved him in like Old School and Zoolander and all these original things. And then he just kept being that guy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna put your face on a pilot's jet. And like
Yeah,
he plays the same dude all the time. And I stopped liking him as a human being as well as an actor. And that was rough for me because I'm sure if I met him, he'd be a real cool dude.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Yeah, he does seem like a pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of people you hear that aren't. So
Yeah,
I like to think he seems
aren't.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like there's
You
a
know.
divide with the other guys. Like there's like half the people are like, that's a shit movie. It's too long and it's just boring. And then other people are like, are you kidding? That's like the most quoted movie. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
There's a couple of quotable lines.
Yeah, like I've
Yeah.
seen
the
it.
Gator
but-
line and the desk pop, but
I think
that's about
the
it.
absolute best part about that movie was Michael Keaton. Michael
Yeah.
Keaton's he's like breaks. He's like, "Are you guys fighting because who's gonna be the next hot shot? Is that what this is? That's exactly what this is. You could matter dead." And he's like doing this thing, and he's like working at fucking Home Depot and shit. He's working at Home Depot on the side, and then he's got his whole team in front of him. He's like, "All right, there's a murder down at Brooklyn Heights." Da 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 da. And he's like, "Oh wait, that's a wrong business. Sorry guys, but if you live in Brooklyn Heights, it's dangerous. There's
It's
a
dangerous.
rapist."
Don't go down there.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Our towels are back in." You know?
Love the fact that he even has a side hustle.
Yeah.
Like that he needs to.
Come on, dude.
Bro, I'd love to be so rich that I'd like to do something where I've traveled, done everything I want to do. I've got a house, I've got a family, and then I don't know, do some things for the community, like build really nice things and drop in and out and how is everyone doing it? But mainly I'd love to have a job at like fucking Bunnings or something.
Just
Like wake up, drive in my Ferrari to Bunnings and then just like cook sausage sizzles for people
and just do that. Yeah.
That'd be chill as dude.
The sausage sizzle, you don't even have to work there. You just have to like do a charity and like you contact them and they let you do the sausage
Wonder if
sizzle for
anyone's like
Bunnings.
tried to set up like not necessarily a fake charity, but just like a really niche one. And like I wonder how much they screen it. Like, do you think
I've
Bunnings
done
like check and like I mean,
I've done a not
Just go and
official
do
Bunnings.
yeah.
It was a not official Bunnings. Well, we've done like a fundraising sausage sizzle when my sister Jackie, when she got into the world finals for robotics through her school. So then they had to fly to like Portugal.
Yeah.
So we did like a fundraiser sausage sizzle. And that was out the front of that IKEA off Bryant's Road there. Oh, not
so
IKEA,
did you just have like send my sister to
Harvey
Portugal?
Norman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Harvey Norman behind like Foodworks.
There used to be a Rebel Sport there,
Yeah, we did like a sausage sizzle there.
Yes, maybe they don't. Yeah, but was that through Bunnings?
No, it wasn't through Bunnings. That's what I mean. But I don't know
You're in the
how.
car park.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah.
We just had a tent in the car
And the
park.
Bunnings person came out and was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
We're
Can't be
wearing
here.
Bunnings aprons.
Bro, it is hot in this
Oh,
rhino.
it's
Well, these rhinos.
These rhinos, we are melting.
Yeah.
But we're drinking refreshing, sparkling water.
Yeah. Schleim. Andrew, what school did you go to?
Well, I'm from Maxville originally, south of Coffs Harbour.
Oh, you're from Coffs. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Right.
down there.
How long have you been
And
in
that's where
prison?
my parents are. Like 12 years.
True.
12 years. Yeah, somewhere
Did you know your partner before then?
there. Yeah, just. We moved up sort of together. But yeah, not long before.
Nice. So what?
But the reason we came up here is just the cheaper, because we were honestly, and it's very different, like it's one of those points where you're like your trajectory of your life could just be different. Like we were looking in Sydney it was like Miranda, is that a place? It's a big
Miranda?
shopping centre.
No, Miranda is as
big
well.
shopping centre, I think, was down there. I don't know.
Is that
Anyway,
west?
we were looking at like units and stuff, and we were like, we're going around to a few, and then the price of them, it was like, let's just go to. We didn't have anyone in Sydney. It was just because the city,
Aye.
And so then we just ended up here. And it's just like one of those points where it's like, if we'd gone there, who knows, what could have been
Completely
so different. So different life.
Are you fully acclimatized now?
Well, mostly. Yeah, I mean, I didn't come from like Victoria or anything. I mean, I used to work in Victoria from Maxville sometimes, but doing forestry. But
Wait, what were you doing forestry? I remember you telling me this because David just did like tree planting in Canada as his summer job.
Yeah.
And that was like super labor intensive.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that categorized as landscaping as well over in Canada?
I don't know, but it was for a mill, like a wood mill.
Oh,
so they were just planting trees for future.
Like pine trees.
Exactly. So they'd have this belt with all these little
seedlings in it.
Yeah, seedlings, and then they'd walk through and just.
Yeah, well, this was less labor intensive. It's essentially, I always describe to people as like a stock take of the forest, more or less. So most of there's just hectares and hectares and hectares of pine forest in Victoria. And so, say you got, 100 acres, and it's like, what is this pine like? It's good, bad, wrecked, who knows? So they just, random GPS points, go in, measure it. These ones are fucked. Sell them and then we tell them, sell that all to the paper mill. Don't even bother trying to sell it to a timber place because it's all fucked. And then vice versa. So then in essence, you go, these are perfectly straight. So then they go, mint, let's go to the timber people and we can tell them this is good stuff and they can put the prices up. We used to do that. Yeah, drive down, fly down.
So
do that 2 weeks, come back.
Give them their value of their stock. Yeah.
But that was good because, like, I don't like snakes. Right, so Victoria's great because it's like
of course.
Cancelled.
Next to no snakes, right?
Yeah.
And but like blackberry bushes,
snakes.
Like up here, you got like lantana. It's blackberry bushes.
Oh,
you just
same
get
thing.
hooking, you just get scratched up trying to trek through this bush.
Hey, speaking of snakes, so this morning my parents left to go on a little trip with a family friend from Germany.
Say his fucking name.
With Franz Josef, and they left at like 4 a.m. And I wake up to this message of her taking a screenshot of her own Facebook status with a photo of a snake in like the chick pen, because they have a chicken over there, in the chook pen, and then saying like, oh, not a nice thing to wake up to in the morning or something. And I was like, what's going on? And she shared it in the family chat. I was like, what's going on there? And then I looked at the Facebook status, it said just now. I'm like, wait a second. Did you? She's like, yeah, there was a snake in there. I'm like, why didn't you wake me? She's like, it was 4 a.m. I was like, right. So she like got the chicken out, put it in the laundry, and then just like whacked the snake with a stick like several times. And it was like, it bailed. And I don't know if it's probably not going to come back. And I was like, God damn. So I did like a little scope of the yard. because I'll catch those things.
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
Yeah. If
put
the
them out in the
birds,
wild.
if the birds are like chirping like crazy,
That's where
and
that's where it's
the
at.
birds will be like, yeah, because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I can
right.
always tell when my like I'll say my cat because like my parents,
Yeah.
so I'll know when the cat's in the backyard because the birds are cutting sick.
They
It's like
go
they're
mental.
like,
Yeah.
everyone look,
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
usually have like a lookout bird, and
Yeah.
then they fucking tell everyone
Fucking
else.
snitch,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, I'll just do that for a python. Like
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
a brown
Yeah.
snake, I ain't going near that.
No,
Bro,
yeah,
do you know
yeah.
the rules?
Call
So
someone.
aggro though.
Call someone
Fuck yeah.
or chop it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, here's the thing: there's rules about killing snakes.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
that.
you're not allowed.
No.
I think it was probably maybe like 2017 or 15 or something like that. I was at home. I had like a day off from work, and I heard my dogs barking, my two dogs, and I like, fuck, what is it? I went down there and I could see them going, row, row, row. And we used to have a pool table underneath the awning thing. It was like all covered up, and I just saw this black silhouette.
Mhm.
I was like, fucking get over here. And like, because I didn't know what kind of snake it was.
Yeah,
so I
you
was
don't
like,
want them to
get them, pulled them away, went down there, kind of quarantined off the area. And then I called like the closest snake lady. This is in Logan as well.
Mm.
And I said, what do I do? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, look, what if your two dogs are barking at it, it's probably scared it off, just leave it. And I'm like, lady, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna head off somewhere soon. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
leaving the dogs in the hot house. I'm not leaving the aircon on for them. It's gonna be fucking power
Yeah,
bill,
whatever,
blah,
yeah.
blah, all that bullshit. I was like, can you just send someone out to have a look or pick it up? And she's like, no, it should be fine. I was like, well, look, if I see the snake and you're not sending one out, I'm gonna chop its fucking head off. That's what I said to her. And she's like, you know what this bitch said to me?
Yeah.
She goes, this is like a professional
Yeah,
company. She
yeah.
goes, well, I hope it bites you before you fucking kill it, cunt, or something like that. Hung up on me.
Jeez.
I called from a home phone. I wish I called from a
Yeah.
mobile so I could have recorded it and
yeah,
been
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yelp this bitch,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
But I remember being like,
Oh man.
what? You fucking
Yeah.
bitch, you know?
Yeah, yeah. One
Yeah.
of those moments, and then
Yeah.
you're just like, "What? Now what?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yes.
That's wild. Yeah, I guess
You bitch.
guess you're not allowed, but
yeah. You're trying to avoid
brown
them.
snake I ain't trying to catch.
Yeah.
You have to
The
get
only
that shit
brown
caught.
snake I'm seeing is out of my ass, you know? You knew that was
Wow.
coming. I had to drop that in there.
It was destined.
So,
Oh man.
we're going to, for our three listeners out there, we're going to Zero Latency this evening. It's for those who don't know, Zero Latency is a franchise. I believe it's only in Australia. Essentially, you go. It's virtual reality. You go into a room, about 8 players. You have different game types, whether it's surviving zombies or adventure games or puzzle games and stuff. Originally I thought, you know, what I've done is like you have like a vest on and a gun, headset and hearing, and you can interact with your team members, your friends.
Mm.
But Andrew's just mentioned that in Queensland they may have updated to no packs.
Yeah, yeah, because it's just a headset.
So,
So
the
they
headset's
use the
connected to the
Quest?
gun?
The headset. Well, the gun just has sensors on it that the headset can see. So I don't remember it being connected to it because it's. I think they're basically Meta Quest headsets, which are standalone
Yeah,
headsets.
Meta, yeah.
That's the one you were saying. You were like, oh, maybe I'll get the Quest 2 or
It's like
something.
$500
We got it.
dude on
Dude.
Amazon.
Quest because the Quest
Black
3
Friday.
just came
Nah,
out.
you
so
got to get the 3. We need
three,
the 3.
Three
You got that
is
AR, that
pretty big
augmented
jump.
reality.
Mhm.
Damn.
But yeah, so I think they might just use, but that was at the Gold Coast one. So whether or not the Brisbane one's
Yeah.
updated as well, but
Andrew's
Yeah.
got a pretty sick setup, but yours is the
Bro,
PS.
Andrew's got a fucking Tesla.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you're
Yeah.
doing to afford a Tesla and a fucking Meta, bro.
it's a touchy subject. The only way I could afford it was I sold my Mustang. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. Like an old
Andrew
school
had a
Mustang.
Mustang, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about that.
yeah.
Old school.
When
but
did-
you fixed that up
was-
from
was-
like
Was that inherited?
No, I
Yeah.
bought it for like 13 grand.
No shit.
It was straight from the States. I didn't buy it from the States, but it was in the country,
Left
not
hand,
like a week.
left-hand drive.
Left-hand drive.
Oh,
and
shit.
over 8 years of me and my brother. It's one of those things where it's like, I regret selling it because it was like,
Passion project.
yeah, me and my brother doing it. And
Mm.
like, you know, I think he was pretty sad when I sold it
Mm.
for a Tesla because he's a rev head. So he was like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Was he
You
like,
know?
yeah, sell it to me?
You know, yeah. And then, you know, but I sold that and, you know, you look back and you go, oh, I should have done that. But then now I have a Tesla, which is pretty cool too.
Pretty fucking
and
sick.
doesn't
Yeah.
cost me a stupid amount no fuel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who have done up cars or they have nice cars, especially those like, you know, American style ones.
Hmm.
And they'll say every now and then they'll just leave it in the driveway and they always get randoms knocking on the door like, wait, hey,
Yeah,
mate,
sell it or
fucking saw your
whatever. Yeah,
car."
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of
Well,
that?
when I was selling it, like I was out in the driveway taking photos of it. the neighbors came over and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just putting it on Facebook." "Oh, okay." They went back in, then the whole family came back out. We're like, "Oh, yeah, so how much do you think you're selling it for?" They didn't buy it, but like, because I was like, "Oh, I don't want to sell it," nearby.
close.
It's
Too
got
close.
some problems. Not my problem, but
Yeah.
same thing with selling cars to family and shit like that.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, how much did you sell it for?
I think in the end it was like 42 grand or something like that.
Fuck, from
So,
13. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
So-
you did a fair bit of work.
Yeah,
to
I
it.
mean, it
well,
was
not
probably
work,
I
but
probably
made
put
it look nicer.
probably put 15 into it.
Mhm.
So it sort of made a little bit, but
Mhm.
not stupid.
Mm.
But yeah, it was totally redone and everything like that.
And though half and then the other half went into the Tesla, like how much do Teslas cost these days? Like
Well, at the time it was like
80K?
64. So
Oh fuck! So you only
so
paid
like
about
put about
20K?
20, 30 in and then finance the rest.
Fucking laughing.
So so it's cost me, and it was when rates were down. It was
Mm.
Good interest
1.9,
rates.
2.9. I think
So
it
when
was.
you because I'm not too versed with how the EVs go, because I know like most shopping centers like Westfields and stuff, or even like gas stations I've seen here, because I'm not driving in Sydney. I just take because public transport's convenient for
not
me.
too
And
bad,
parking is
Yeah,
a
it's
pain.
absolutely
if you
fucked
don't-
on my street too. But I do see the power input pluggings for charging. But when you buy a Tesla, is it kind of like when you buy an iPhone or something? Does it come with like a charging
It
dock
comes
for you?
well, not anymore. Because Tesla gets all the statistics, so
Does it
they know what people are using to charge. So they stopped giving them out with the car because no one was using them because they know
the standard
based on
wall
the
plug
car
one.
tells them what people are plugging in. Yeah, the standard like 240 volt.
So
So you can buy it now, but otherwise, at home that's all you would use
Mhm.
if you were getting one. Otherwise, I got a unit thing installed.
Would most people
slightly
do that?
quicker. I think most people do, but if you're renting, you just
Because
plug
that's
in
what
a
I was
wall.
thinking. I was like, I can't get a Tesla because I
Yeah.
can't install it.
No, if it's just your daily stuff, the plug in the wall's
get a
fine.
couple extension cords.
You
mate.
know.
Yeah, I don't even think I have a power point in the car
nearby,
park
yeah.
there somewhere.
If
So couple of just across my
yeah.
car.
Yeah.
if you were to
Hey, don't drive over that.
if you were to look at the statistics, how much do you think you've saved since you've gone electric?
Yeah, it's obviously a fair bit with the solar and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't really look at it too much. It's just I just know it's saving. I
Yeah,
suppose,
you're not
solar, and then charging it from your
and
home.
it's just that like imagine your petrol car, and just so you got your petrol car outside, and every morning you wake up and the tank is full.
That's amazing.
And you come back home,
Yeah.
and you go to sleep. And you wake up, and you go back over, tank is full. You know what I mean?
someone's
Like
taken
it's
it to the
that. It's
servo.
that's
Yeah.
sort of like an awesome convenience.
Oh, it's a weight
like,
off your shoulders. Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, and there was a while there where I'd be driving and people were like, "Oh, fucking fuel prices." I'm like, "Oh, I don't. What is it?" Like, honestly, I was like, "What is it gone up?
You haven't
Is it
been
like
looking?
$2 something now,
Yeah.
or where is it?" Like, I just had not even looked
Out of sight, out of mind.
at a fuel station,
Yeah.
and you realize, how much you sort of rely on it, I suppose.
Here's my next
Mhm.
question. I've never actually considered this though. What happens like you go down to a mechanic when you need a service?
Mhm.
Who do you go to? Like,
Well, Tesla-
what's the
But
inside
wait,
of a
Joel.
Tesla look like? Like, does it have? You got the carburetor and the
Yeah, yeah.
velocipator and the.
Yeah.
I don't know fuck all about cars. So
All
like,
that. They don't.
This is the thing.
They don't. You don't service it. If I think their philosophy is if it has an issue, then you
you take it to the dealership.
take it. Yeah, well, there's an app, obviously, so there's an app for
So
everything.
the only real maintenance you're doing is like
Just
windscreen wiper
wipers,
fluids and
yeah.
pumping up the tires.
Yeah, because you barely use the brakes because of regenerative
Yeah.
braking.
It uses the electric engines for braking as well.
brake,
So
I don't
realistically,
even
you're
know.
saving-
Sometimes I press the brakes just to make sure they're still there. No,
So you're
but,
probably
like,
saving
you know,
$500,000 a year.
Well,
$500,000.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, you're saving quite a bit, obviously. Just in the servicing side of things straight away, and then fuel. The only time, and I think now it's becoming more of a problem, I haven't done a long trip recently, but I reckon there would be some issues with long trip charging just because of how
Finding
many
the
there now.
spaces
Well,
too,
for me to
So
go back
it's
to mum and
queues.
dad's, during holidays, there can be like queues at the charging stations, which, that's going to be the issue moving forward is just that sort of
Keeping
thing.
up with the
At home
infrastructure.
charging and your daily stuff, no worries. If you want to do a long trip and you have to charge, then that's where we'll start
Can you
seeing
bring
issues.
portable chargers, like little mini generator thingies?
I guess you could do. Yeah. It's just planning. It's just a bit more planning, I suppose, is the difference between a petrol car.
Mm.
You know. But
I don't know if you've heard this, but like a major issue is if everyone went out and bought an electric car today, our whole power grid would collapse.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to literally, like the whole country, and I'm sure this is the same with other Western countries, our power grid is like on the edge. Like they're just making enough power to make it. So if you suddenly put an extra load, like every household needing to charge a car.
Well, yeah. Like, I mean, in like Texas, they had that thing, was it wintertime? And I think in Texas, they had like a massive
power just shut down.
Turned off because they just couldn't handle it. In South Africa, like my auntie lives in South Africa and talked to a few customers from there. They have like apps that the government has given people to tell you your power's going to be off from 6 till 10 because they just, and
because they turn it on in another area or something. You just check your phone and go, oh, yeah, no, we can't watch that movie at 10 because the power's going to be off. Like, it's a scheduled outage.
Man, South Africans are like the pros of board games and fucking crosswords and shit, yeah. Candle profits are up.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Like, that's the sort of thing that they're dealing with, and they don't really have that much power. I mean, the generators obviously can't handle it.
We've got no idea how
power plants.
How luxe we live. Like, Johannesburg has all these water issues. Like, I just saw their water was out for like, I think it was like 55 days straight or something. They're running tap water. And then it was like an article saying like, oh, the water should be good for the Christmas period.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild, dude. Running water. Luxury.
Do you know what I'm seeing a lot? And this is a bit of a dark turn. We don't have to go down this rabbit hole as well. But I'm not sure if maybe I liked one video on politics and YouTube. Now my entire Instagram,
you must
feed,
watch it.
Yeah, my entire feed is just about potential civil war in Europe with all the fucking the immigration and stuff and like this. Like,
my dad's like, oh, you seen all these videos? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know it's a thing, obviously, but I try not to. I know, just focus on it. He's like, oh yeah, they're going to war in the streets and stuff. And I'm like,
it's rough. It's hectic. It's because there's millions and millions of migrants pouring into these countries, and they're like, what the fuck is gonna, dude? Is like, is Europe are people in Europe just gonna start mowing each other down? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, that's
and we're over here like, oh, fuck the grid.
Yeah. So that's Europe, and then in America they got the whole Trump thing going on and trying to make him not run again, whatever.
Did you see they actually released segments of the hidden document of Epstein?
Yeah,
the logs.
I didn't see it, but
it was like attendances, staff, guests, all that stuff, celebrity guests, and like they obviously mentioned Stephen Hawking was on it. They've mentioned Donald Trump was there, but there's mention of him, but there hasn't been any incriminating evidence thus far. Well, and then they also mentioned what's the royal guy,
Prince.
Which one?
Which one was it?
Something like that.
Which one?
The UK.
The one that got cancelled for
like Harry.
Wasn't
the
it?
young one?
Not Prince Harry.
The guy that was like
Prince Andrew.
He's
fucked, dude. Like he's grabbing breasts and like that dude's gonna get
Donald Trump just grabbing around the pussy.
Yeah. Donald Trump's like,
and yet he's the president after that incident.
Yeah.
Or was the president.
He's like, save time. He's grabbing him the pussy.
Here's the thing though, like just because they were on Epstein's island isn't incriminating because the guy was a really wealthy dude. So they're always going to have businessy things going on, money things, meetings, networking.
It's like if you go to an Airbnb and you're like, I like this Airbnb. Me and my wife come here twice a year, and then you realize the dude who owned the Airbnb was like a cocaine or a human
had like
human
a lab down in his basement, and you were just Airbnbing above it.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, funky smells, but I like the view. Look at the view.
I feel great.
It's really good.
I have so much energy every time we go on holidays.
Oh, that reminds me of something I learned recently, actually. There was this colour, and it's just weird to think of colours, right? Shields green, it's called. And it was a green.
SHIEL?
Someone, SCHEELE. Shields. I don't know if he's German or something. Sounds German. But it was like, and it's just weird, like, he made this green colour. Right, in the 30s or something like that. And then people started dying because it had like arsenic in it. But it was just like, oh my God, look at this green. Like people just went mental for it and painting everything fucking green.
It was like a new shade of green.
I haven't actually seen, I didn't Google it, but it's like a forest sort of a green.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just weird to think like if someone bring out a paint colour, it's like, oh, I've not seen this green ever before, you know? Like,
yeah.
But that's the sort of thing happens. But yeah, like,
yeah, but
people in
that's,
their houses were painting it like everywhere, and then they're like just getting sick and dying because I think
Would
it
that
had
happen
some kind of
nowadays,
arsenic
though?
in it.
Yeah.
would that happen nowadays with a color, or would we have
No.
to find something
That-
Yeah,
else?
you'd have to be. I don't know. Like,
That's
I mean,
a really good question.
there's like that Vanta black, which is like really, really
Oh
black.
my
It's like
God,
you know?
I've
So,
seen
absorbs
that.
color
you know, like
around
there's some
it.
cool colors,
Yeah.
but
I think you can buy like
you know,
clothing like that, but it's super expensive. It's
Oh,
like,
man.
my hand's gone. you
yeah,
know?
you know.
But
it's
my
pretty cool.
so like, here's the thing: like, whether or not there is a way to create a new color that the human eye hasn't never seen before,
Well,
even if
yeah.
that's possible, would we be able to perceive it? Like, has our brain reached a point where it's just like, I can't.
Yeah.
I would it
Probably
be able
not.
to see it? Yeah, that's what
Probably
I'm
not,
thinking.
because we've already got some humans that can't even see all the shades of
Yeah.
like colorblind,
That
green
sucks,
colorblind.
dude. That sucks. Imagine being fucking colorblind.
Dude, well, our vision is so crap. Like it's very hard to
You
sort
don't
of
see like
imagine. But
infrared and stuff.
well, if you imagine also like an eagle's vision,
Mm.
they see in
They're
like
just like like we look out there in the grass and it's just like,
nothing.
see anything out there? Nothing. But
Whereas
like
they're
they're
flying-
up there, see like little tiny like.
But I'm like, how
Yeah.
do they perceive that?
Just
Is
that
it just
sniper
like
scope.
is it
Yeah.
just they can like zoom their focus in as if
Or
they're
they
zooming
just
and they can
see
just see
everything at
because they see
once.
so many pixels?
yeah, it's crazy.
I'd like to. Okay, would you prefer the eagle eye sharp vision,
Mhm.
200 yards away, or would you prefer the seeing in dark like a cat? You can only have one. It's a hard one because they're both good. One's great if you have children. Like, Ronnie, there he is.
yeah.
But the other one is like, it's dark. Ronnie, there he is. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I think the dark
Either
one.
way,
I
you're
don't know.
finding wrong.
I like, bro. I love Chronicles of Riddick, right? So like,
yeah.
I fell in love with those eyes, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I think the
yeah.
dark one
I think the dark.
is more user friendly. Like, there's more you can do with that. I don't know.
More
just
utility.
Being able to just, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't
watch it
know.
at nighttime and not have to worry about having the lights.
You end up asking for the eagle eyes, and you get chameleon eyes instead. They're like, "Who are you looking at right now?" You're like, I'm looking at you.
Do you know what's wild about vision as well? While we're on it,
Hmm.
our human vision, like when we focus on something, the point that we focus on and actually register is about the size of your outstretched thumb.
Oh,
That area is what we can actually focus on and like
True.
read. Basically,
Everything
if you're
else
looking at
is-
signs,
yeah.
everything else is just a
and you're, just,
peripheral blur.
you're kind of just assuming the
Right.
rest. Yeah.
So when you're driving, you look at a street sign, you're only, as you're looking at it, you'll see that 60.
Yeah.
You might
Everything else is
program
blurred.
yourself to see like peripheral, oh, I know that's an 80 sign because I've seen it
But
so
you're
many
only
times.
seeing part of the 8 and there's, yeah.
If they brought out a drug like a narcotic, like an ecstasy or an acid or something like that, that altered your vision. So obviously you had the euphoria, but it actually.
Hmm.
Made you
Enhanced.
focus area, just,
I would be
dude.
addicted to that
Hmm.
for sure because
You'd
I'd
be
be like,
I see everything.
yeah, because like imagine like you're a drummer or a keyboard player or something. Like you're the one of those pianists who has like all the synths. You
Yeah,
just be
yeah,
like,
yeah. Just being able to see all of it at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be meant. Be awesome.
Wild.
Or where's Wally, dude?
Oh,
Solved immediately.
I was going to
There it
say
is.
that about the eagle vision, but then I was like, hang on, does that make sense? But you
Yeah.
just look at the page and it's
Bro,
like, there he is.
Do you know how they did the studies on monkeys and monkeys were just like boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
boom,
with the
boom?
numbers?
Did you see that one?
Yeah, I think
They had
The
like
sequential
2.
numbers.
It's like 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like 2, 2. They show it and then the monkeys remember.
remember.
So they
yeah.
they're
flash
not
up
even looking, they're
colors.
just like-
They flash up numbers in sequence, and the monkey has memorized the sequence of how the numbers go. So it taps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it gets a reward. But then they only flash them up for a second,
Yeah.
and the monkey still remembers
Yeah,
the position of
crazy.
it and which order it goes in, like better than a human could.
Right. So maybe we wouldn't show the monkey where Wally is on the map. But do you think if we trained them to identify his face, do you think they would be quick at
Yeah,
it, or
find
do
it.
monkeys have the same level of
No
ocular
idea.
vision as us?
Because I mean, that numbers thing, that's pretty wild. Like if you flash up numbers in front of you,
Yeah.
would you be able to do that?
Oh, with great experience, maybe.
Great practice.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
thing that's cool is like obviously when I was studying acting, I had to learn a lot of scripts.
Mm.
So like I got maybe after 2 months, I got really good at just looking at something and going 3 pages, boom, I've learned it in 15 minutes, you know?
Mm.
And I haven't really delved into scripts since maybe like 2020. But I wrote this little mini script with this chick that I'm doing TikTok videos with. We're doing like a dual thing, and she made some updates to it, and then I did, and then we looked at it. I looked at it yesterday. Yep. And then we filmed a rough draft for each other to send it over so we can. And I had that shit down in a second.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that if anything that I've maintained my retaining of information for scripts. Like I thought, because I said to I was conscious. I was like, fuck, if I start acting again, like really getting into scripts, I wonder if that muscle's going to be flat, you know?
Even just like doing like drama and things when you're younger helps with that. Like, because I never studied it or anything, but I feel like I'm pretty quick for picking up. Like, there's so many people where like when you tried to make a TikTok with your brother and you're like, say this, this, and this, and then he was like,
yeah, fucked up.
And then you're like, Phil, you said, and I was like, blah, 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 blah.
You take it for granted a bit.
Phil a couple of times, maybe around April last year, before I went on a bit of a month break in Brisbane. Phil was helping me maybe every Friday before we did the podcast. Phil was learning scripts with me and we were filming them.
Yeah.
And this dude, not only was he learning lines faster than me, but he was able to dissect what the character's going through as well. I'm like doing it and Phil's like, no, see, you missed out the part where he lost his finger when he was 3 years old. You know, like, I want to see that. You know, it's like, oh shit. You know,
they wouldn't say it like that.
I
remember.
Exactly.
I was just like, I want to see you think that as you say this. All right.
Yeah. I'm like, you know.
God damn it.
It was good times.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
My finger.
Yeah.
What happened to Phil's fun facts, by the way?
Yeah, hit us with one. Bro.
Yeah, that's.
We could use the Epstein thing because that was pretty fun.
But no, I gotta get that going again because it's died off heavily. But on the last episode, which hasn't come out yet, so you haven't heard it yet, with Joel's brother, we actually had his brother had a fun fact for us. So
what was that?
Where's your
Is
fun
his
facts?
name Onomatic B as well? Does it start with an F?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, that's annoying.
Do you have a fun fact?
Andrew's fun fact.
Well, I have one.
Oh yeah.
The galaxy, right?
What a concept.
I'm interested.
So I was watching this video, Neil deGrasse Tyson, of course. So he's talking to this lady about searching the galaxy. And talk about like aliens. Is there aliens out there? And people are like, no, there's no fucking aliens. Well, we would have found them by now, whatever.
That's lunacy.
If you take, so you got the universe, right? Fucking massive. And they've all got millions, billions of galaxies. I think a lot of people get galaxy and solar system
Confused.
Yeah. Because we're in a galaxy. There's fucking heaps of planets and solar systems. Anyway, the galaxy. I'm just talking about a galaxy right now. How much have we searched for life?
In just our galaxy.
Just our galaxy.
Because our galaxy has about 1 billion stars.
Solar systems.
I think it's like,
which is each a sun.
I think if this is the one he did with the woman, I think it was the equivalent of a small cup of water compared to the ocean.
Cup of this in the oceans.
Yeah.
And you go, is there any fish in the ocean?
Yeah.
No.
Not in my sample, so no, there is none. And you'd be stupid to think that.
I would have even.
And it's just like.
I would have even gone so far as like 3/4 of this, not even the stone itself. Bro.
I think he says a small cup.
12 ounce, so it's probably like a
schooner.
Tiny. Is it?
Schooner,
Something like that. So it's like, that blew my mind.
That's how much we've searched of our just one galaxy.
And that's why you think, is there any life? That's all we've looked at. You think there's life in the ocean?
Well, it's crazy. The only one thing that someone has to say really is if we assume that the universe is infinite, then there is a 0% chance that there is not even an exact version of you somewhere out there, because infinite, we can't fathom it. So
the other thing which they talk about is aliens. People are like, not every, but a lot of alien movies are all like they're humanoid. They look kind of like a person, bipedal on 2 legs. But when you just go, okay, well, forget aliens, let's just look at Earth. How many other, and there's a lot of animal species. How many species look like humans? 2?
Bro, we've mentioned this before. Like, out there,
everything else looks totally different. Why, statistically, why would aliens look like us when we don't even look like anything else?
What if it's just like a floating bit of gas or light?
Yeah,
and it's conscious, but we don't know that, we don't perceive it as conscious. Or if, in your example, let's say we got a device that was able to see and zoom in so far to the next galaxy over, or even like many solar systems away. And then we saw like creatures, and they looked like lizards or something, and you're like, oh my God. But what we're seeing is light from like 2 million years ago, for instance. So we might be seeing their dinosaur age, and by now it's completely evolved into something else. So
and I mean, vice versa, if someone's looking back at us, we're like, oh, fucking dinosaurs there,
Yeah, if someone was looking back, they'd probably just see a frozen planet or something, depending on how far away they are. It's wild.
Do you know what scares me is like we've sent we've sent frequencies that things can dissect, and it's like, this is what our physiology looks like. This is art. This is learning and stuff. It's like, don't give them that information. They don't need to know that.
They can come here and find that out.
Yeah, simple biological life form. Cells.
Sounds like fire. Fire should sort them out. Pretty much.
Yeah, scorched earth policy.
But you're absolutely right. Like sending out shit, but then. Is someone going to be able to decipher that? Like, let's say every human died. We were talking about this, like, making things. Like, if everyone died and you were the last person on Earth, Andrew was saying this earlier before the podcast, and you had to do anything or make something.
Pretty much anything.
Like, let's say you had to make yourself a pencil. There's no way you're going to make a pencil. What, you're going to get graphite, then you're going to get wood and cut it into a perfect little tube and then put the graphite in the middle and then... fuse it
and
together.
It's so simple, just
good point.
You're not making a
like, I need power. Well, how does the fucking power station work? I don't know. Go flick some switches and shit. I don't know.
Hell yeah!
And it's like, cool, it starts, but then what is there? Just a PowerPoint I can plug in? No, probably not. It's probably connected to the fucking grid. And now where do you get the power? Like,
we really are so useless without our specialists.
As a singular, as a combined pack of humans, we invent things and do things. But my point here was, if every human died and an alien came down and they saw an SD card, there's no way they're going to figure out
that doesn't configure with their things.
That we put anything on there of value. They're just going to be like, oh, a piece of plastic. And that's what I think could be. Like, we could be missing shit from ancient civilizations because we just don't know how to read their technology or what they've made.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Because nobody's going to figure out, like, oh, what is this weird device? These buttons rotate. I don't know what they did with this museum.
Junk.
True.
Yeah.
You know what's also weird as well is like our affection for pets, right? Like if I was in, like, if an alien's looking down at us, they're in like a ship, they're probably like, oh, these things are disgusting. Like humans, they smell, they're primitive, they beat their chests, and they have egos.
They kill things
and then
to
there's
live.
this like sharp razor-toothed little hairy thing going, and they're like, oh, why are they? Oh, don't let it pat you. That thing licked its So what I want to see is in like another sci-fi movie where we're fighting aliens, and then like humans are like observing an alien. There's some weird, and they're like. And it's like, oh, like we'd be disgusted as well, you know.
It's
but
like,
to that thing, it's like, you know, it's like, fuck, gross.
They kind of do that, don't they? Don't they kind of do like weird pets? I feel like I've seen
probably
one of the
cartoons.
Movies along
the,
Probably
they'll have like little pet critter.
They got a little pet critter of some sort.
What's your favorite movie of all time? I feel like most people who ask are like, I don't know, but I feel like you'd have one. You're a connoisseur, so.
What favorite movie? Probably. You know, I'm a massive fan of The Last Samurai.
So
not from a film perspective. I just really like it. You know, it's like
not from an artistic, the way it was made.
I probably don't look at them from an artistic level either. Which I guess you don't have to. You just got to like it. Yeah, I mean that, and I mean, you can always go back and watch Ace Ventura, to be honest. Like,
of course.
And that's just
up there.
Just a good laugh. I mean, and that's a hard thing, I think, when you say, what's your favourite movie? So, depends what I'm feeling at the time, you know?
Yeah.
If I'm like super depressed, oh my God, you know, I might watch Ace Ventura, but I might not like it. Like, you know,
exactly.
not
I don't
feeling
want to ruin it with my bad mood.
You know, so it's sort of tough. But
Last Samurai is a good one. I mean, it's like, it's got enough a conflict going on where you could watch it when you're low, you can watch it when you're happy, and you're still
like
kind of
the soundtrack, like it's like the visuals is cool, you know, like I don't know that it's that accurate, but heck, it's cool, you know, and you know you feel it in the end battle and things like that, you know. I don't know, that's just something that comes to mind, and I guess if it came to my mind, it probably is something that I really
it's probably
like.
up there.
Good answer, man. Good answer.
Know?
Yeah.
So,
well, we're not going to ask me again, so let's wrap up on that. We're schwitzing, we're dripping, we're hydrated.
I'm glad I wore like a dry fit top. I was like, thank fuck, dude.
Exactly. Well, this doesn't show any moisture, so I'm
Svetsky.
That's good.
I'm
Svetsky, yeah.
That's all right. I think yours is like fully overexposed on your shirt anyway, so you won't be able to see it with that natural lighting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you, Andrew. It's been a pleasure, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
No worries. Cheers.
The traveling 1 liter.